your host, Mason Rooney. And as usual, I'm joined by my co host, who finally got to witness another Minnesota miracle, Cody Starren. Say hello,
It
Cody.
was not a miracle. It was just a game-winning field goal.
Well, that's a miracle for Minnesota fans.
Fair assessment.
Anyway, in this episode, we're going to quickly recap week 5, look towards Thursday Night Football, and probably talk about the biggest news from this weekend that wasn't even on the field related, which also happens to be our lead topic of this show, Jon Gruden. So, let's get right into it. Cody, did you see what Jon Gruden said in those emails?
I didn't really see what he had specifically said. I saw in one email he called him up. Roger Goodell, a name that you're not supposed to call your boss.
Yeah. He also said lots of racist stuff, sexist stuff. There was a photo exchanges of topless Washington football team cheerleaders that was sent to him or something. Uh, he, I don't know if I already said this, but he said some homophobic stuff. So it was just a mess all around.
I will say, I mean, like I thought that it was just one email at first,
No, it
so I
was
was
a
like,
lot
whatever.
of emails.
At first, I kind of brushed it off, like whatever. I mean, we all say stuff that we probably shouldn't say at least once in our lives, right?
Yeah,
It was the first one that came out. I think was like what 10 years ago,
yeah,
but it was later released that there was 650,000 emails,
yeah. There was a lot of emails that were gone through.
and so the more it came out about it, the more you kind of realized,
Oh, what an asshole this guy is.
and the person who's not getting as much hate as he should is Bruce Allen.
Is that the
It's
Washington?
the guy he was emailing back and forth with.
Yeah, like I mean, there's a petition with the NFLPA going trying to have the NFL release the other emails that was from the football team investigation. So I imagine those are soon to be published, and we'll get a even clearer picture of uh, what kind of stuff was going on. But
Absolutely.
this felt like it just kind of happened out of nowhere. Like
Yeah,
it,
and
it
it
just
makes you.
people just Raiders fans, everyone involved just kind of got slapped with it on Friday, and news broke out on Monday that Jon Gruden put in his resignation. So
And it's really weird to me because he's been coaching for 2.5 years now, basically.
yeah,
Why now?
yeah, but I think it has to do with the Washington football team's sexual harassment investigation that they just stumbled. I don't know if they stumbled upon these emails or how long they've had them, but I
Right.
think
I don't
that's why they ended up getting released. So,
think it's tough to just stumble upon 650,000 emails.
oh yeah, absolutely. So,
Someone was looking for
and
something.
plus it was very selective of what the NFL released in terms of those emails. So,
Right.
but with that being said, Jon Gruden did put in his resignation from the team, so he's no longer head coach. They promoted special teams coach Rich, something. I can't pronounce his last name, but he was the special teams coach, and he's gonna be interim head coach. Now I want to ask you this, Cody: how desirable of a spot do you think Vegas is for a head coaching spot?
First of all, let's just appreciate the special teams coach just got
Oh,
named head coach. You
I know,
rarely ever see that.
I know. It sure was a
But
weird person to promote, but
and it's almost really weird. I think, from what I could hear, he was one of the more respected guys in the organization. So
yeah, I mean it makes sense if he truly is a well respected guy in behind the scenes. Makes sense he would promote that
apparently,
guy, but
what I read, he's been there for a very long time. He's very well respected by the players, and it's a guy that, well, the offensive guys do the offensive things, the defensive guys do the defensive things, and then he's just gonna be the glue.
yeah, I always think those types of coaches that don't meddle too much tend to be pretty good.
Look at Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah,
He's doing pretty all right for himself, and
I
he
mean like yeah, there's exceptions. There's like Sean McVay who's hands on with the offense, and look how that works. So I'm not saying it's like foolproof or head coaches shouldn't be meddling, but I'm just saying like coaches that don't really meddle, I feel like have a pretty good success rate. I don't think
Well,
he's gonna be head coach next year, but I guess we'll find out.
players typically gravitate towards those kind of guys that aren't meddling all the time, just because. I
They
mean,
can.
they got them. They got themselves the NFL. They know what they're doing. As long as they're perfecting what he's installing,
Yeah.
coaches usually shouldn't really have a problem, right?
Yeah. But like I said, how desirable of a coaching destination do you think Vegas is?
Pretty desirable. I mean, brand new stadium. It's in one of the best cities in the world for
Absolutely. Can confirm.
attracting young talent.
Can confirm.
Which 24, 25-year-old wouldn't want to come off his rookie deal with a
Oh,
shit ton of money and go sign
absolutely. Vegas is the place to be. So,
outside of LA?
oh, I've been to LA. Nothing too special. Uh, but another question: is this season already kind of a lost cause for the Raiders, or do you think they'll still be able to compete?
Well, they're 3-2, right?
Yeah, but these last
They
two
got a winning
weeks,
record.
they haven't really looked good, which leads us into our next segment: from contenders to pretenders. A whole bunch of teams that started at three. Well, three teams started at 3-0 have lost the last 2 weeks. One of them being the Raiders. And like we were saying, or at least I was saying, the Raiders really haven't looked good these last 2 weeks in their losses.
I'm gonna take last week out of it entirely because
The Chargers game,
of the Bears game,
the Bears game.
one they just played.
Yeah, Bears.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna take that one out entirely because the players looked like they just did not want to be there. I mean, they looked like their heads were in a totally opposite field and they just weren't there. That was not the Raiders
That won
that
the
you
first
see.
3 weeks.
Right, that's not the Raiders.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chargers. The Chargers is a good team, and they played them well.
Yeah.
So
One thing I do want to ask for that Chicago game is like, Justin Fields didn't exactly look that great. Do you think it's more so
no, I
because
mean,
of coaching that's making him look
113
not good right now?
113 passing yards. I mean, he just benefited from the Raiders not really being there.
Yeah. But do you think that's because more so coaching has been bad, or is that the Justin Fields we're gonna be getting?
It's not Nagy calling the plays anymore, so
No.
it could just be somebody trying to transition to calling an offense.
I did not know Nagy stopped calling plays. That's something to keep an eye out. See if Justin Fields could get acclimated to that offense now.
Sir,
All right, another contender to pretender. We have Carolina. Darnold did not look good this week, like at all. You think he's seeing those ghosts again? Did they follow him from New York?
the thing with the Panthers is they're gonna go as far as their defense takes them.
Yeah.
That defense is playing lights out. At the same time, without Christian McCaffrey, it's just not the same team.
Yeah. I mean, but Chuba Hubbard still did rush for 100 yards. But Sam Darnold threw, I think, 3 picks on Sunday, so it's...
McCaffrey has every time he steps on the football field, he has a opportunity to go for 300 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Yeah. Still not sold on Hurts, though. So...
no.
He'll have games where has like a great game, then he'll have another game where it's like, well, is he really going to be that guy for Philly going forward? So
It's hard to say that he's not that guy because I think even this week, even though the Eagles didn't look the best, I still think he threw for 400 yards.
there's no way he threw for 400. While you look at that, I'm gonna start talking about this Denver Pittsburgh game, and boy, Denver. I don't know what the hell happened with Denver's defense. I thought they were pretty good, and I thought they kind of steamrolled this dormant Pittsburgh offense that's just not been there at all this year. But apparently Pittsburgh showed up, offensively showed up, and they actually looked pretty good.
I was looking at the wrong bird.
You're thinking Lamar.
That was Lamar Jackson that threw for 400 yards.
Yeah, Lamar was insane last night, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts threw for 198.
Yeah, I knew he didn't throw for a whole lot. But this Denver-Pittsburgh game, it's just weird how... Because they were, in those 3 wins, granted, they were against teams that hadn't won at the time. They looked really good those 3 weeks, and then they just started playing, actual competition. And I think this is Denver we're probably gonna be seeing for the whole rest of the year. Just like they'll play well against bad teams, but they'll play mediocre at best against decent teams.
Yeah, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater still looked decent.
Yeah, but if they allowed this a dormant Pittsburgh offense to pretty much run wild on them. So, do
I
you think
mean,
Pittsburgh's going to be able to continue this surge of offensive momentum? They are playing the Seahawks,
well,
who don't have a good offense at all. So, I'd say it's pretty light, or a good defense. I mean, so it wouldn't surprise me.
that wouldn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. I think
I hope
I
not,
think they
though.
could put up 50 next week.
No, we got rid of Trey Flowers, so we'll be fine now.
Fair enough.
Going on to more Sunday games, we have the London game, and Kyle Pitts has finally arrived. It took 5 weeks, but this is hopefully the Kyle Pitts we see from here going forward.
Well, I was just getting a taste, fantasy wise. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I was getting a taste of the real Kyle Pitts I drafted.
I feel you on that one.
Boy, am I let down. He's on a bye week.
I forgot about that. I need to look for a new tight end. But anyway, yeah, Atlanta. It was the Jets, and Matt Ryan did actually look pretty good this week. What it was
Well,
the
again,
Jets. So take it as you will. Go on to the morning games. Davis Mills was the best rookie QB of the week.
Yes.
Yes. So my prediction for rookie of the year still up there.
I mean, Jamar Chase still looked pretty alright.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is going to run away with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Davis Mills is the best quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said last week in our biggest was it disappointment, the rookie class of QBs really haven't been that great. So Davis Mills really isn't competing with much right now.
The only quarterback that's anywhere close
Is Mac Jones.
Second half Zach Wilson.
Yeah. So
First half Zach Wilson, bottom of the list. Second half Zach Wilson, right at the top.
yeah. Detroit, Minnesota. Cody, how does it feel to have witnessed the second ever Minneapolis Miracle?
I witnessed the first one too. First one was better though.
Hands down was better. I remember. Were we? Was it me, you, and Elia that were kind of there all at the same time?
We were on an Xbox
We
together.
were on the Xbox party chat, and I think I saw it first, and I was just
Ely
like,
was,
what the hell happened?
Ely was a Saints fan. He was feeling good.
Yeah, he was feeling good until Stephon Diggs decided to say, "No, this is my time."
Don't put baby in the corner.
I know. But yeah, this was the second ever Minneapolis Miracle. Two things happened that Minnesota fans never witnessed: Kirk being clutch and a game-winning field goal. So
Hey, let's chill out on the Kirk being clutch thing because he's put Minnesota in places to win and they find ways to lose.
yeah, but I'm just saying, Kirk being clutch actually led to a W. So
He actually was put to good use.
yeah, Kirk being clutch was not wasted. Is mainly what
it's
it
not
meant.
It's not overlooked this week because
his defense collapsed.
someone decided they didn't want to win.
Yeah, but I think the bigger news is the game-winning field goal. How does it feel to have actually made a field goal, Cody?
Still at a loss for words, man.
I know it was jaw dropping, really. I bet Dan Campbell felt really confident letting you guys kick that field goal too.
Absolutely, and every coach should because Minnesota on game-winning kicks just
Don't go
they
well
blend
together.
like water and oil.
Yeah, but this is two heartbreaking game-losing field goals for the Lions, and one of them was a record breaker. The other was by Minnesota, so that just kind of feels demoralizing as is.
Absolutely, but at the same time, you're a team that's looked down upon by every other team in the league. You're taking good teams to last second. I mean, you're bringing down, made the Ravens make a 66 yarder. So
yeah.
I mean,
So it's like
no shame in that.
Like I said, Lions have been playing well. They've always been fighting. They just can't pull it out So
Biting kneecaps on their way back up.
yeah. Speaking of field goals, let's talk about a game that had a lot of missed. Green Bay Cincinnati, dude. Was that 5 straight missed field goals, and the Cincinnati kicker celebrated too early too? It was a mess on the overtime.
But no, I was listening to the Pat McAfee show, and Aaron Rodgers was saying that the wind was just killer,
The
especially coming
wind?
off that open end of the field. And it was pushing kicks left and right, which could be. I mean, granted, it's not necessarily an excuse. You still gotta make your kicks.
Yeah.
It just made it exponentially harder than it would in normal conditions.
Yeah. To quote the great ninja. Hold on, I'm trying to find the tweet.
I know which tweet you're talking
Hold on,
about.
I need to find this.
I know which one you're talking about.
This was always my this. I love this tweet. All right, to quote the great ninja of Fortnite fame, I'll never understand how college and NFL football teams allow kickers that just miss kicks. I feel like that there has to be pools of kickers in the USA that won't miss simple kicks, or snappers that won't mess the snaps. I don't know, man. It seems so silly. Would love opinions on this.
My brother is a long snapper, not professionally, obviously, but he'd be
I tried
willing to tell you that
in high school. I tried playing long snapper. That shit is hard.
there's an art to long snapping.
There really
I mean,
is.
those long snappers that are in the NFL are down to the point where when they snap the ball, they time it perfectly so that the laces of the ball are up.
Yeah, long snapping is a art form that should not be taken for granted.
And kicking as well. I mean, the sweet spot on the ball is this big.
Yeah.
You gotta swing your leg at full force and hit a spot this big.
Yeah. So.
Which is another reason why I will never understand how Justin Tucker hits that ball cleanly every time.
It's an art form. Special teams is an art form.
Yeah.
New Orleans versus football team, and boy, the Magic 8 Ball got it right this week. Jameis being Jameis and leading the Saints past this very underwhelming Washington football team defense.
I
think that's just the best way to put this game. Jameis just being Jameis and Washington being underwhelming.
I honestly thought this defense was gonna be top 5 in the league, and
Right?
it's just
I had so much faith in them this year. I thought their pass rush would just get better. I thought their secondary would hold it down. Now they're just Swiss cheese out there.
absolutely, and it's just hard to watch.
It really is. But Jameis, still the most polarizing player in the NFL, and yeah, led the Saints to a victory over this football team. Tennessee Jacksonville. I think I said this when the draft happened, but I will never understand why the Jaguars decided to take ETN when they had James Robinson on the team.
I think it was one of those deals where it's like, hey Trevor, we're gonna get your buddy if you kind of.
That's the only reason I could think of why they would take ETN, because they didn't need him. James Robinson has proven to be that guy.
So good.
Like, there was no reason for ETN.
It's gonna end up ruining ETN's career, honestly.
Absolutely,
He's honestly just gonna keep playing second fiddle to James Robinson.
Yeah.
And if he can't stay healthy, he's still just gonna be third fiddle to whoever is ahead of him.
I think Carlos Hyde is running back too. So
I don't know. That was just the first decision that Urban Meyer made that was questionable.
Yeah. But on the other side, we have the best running back in the league doing best running back in the league things. Derrick Henry ran for like 130 and 3 touchdowns. So just another day in the office for him. Not much really to talk about that.
The other thing about Derrick Henry is in my opinion, there's 3 running backs at the top of the list. Dalvin Cook, CMC, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry will always be number 1 to me, strictly because he's there week in and week out.
Considering how physical this man is, he never gets hurt.
He touches the ball 40 times a game. I mean, that speaks wonders to who he is as a durable player.
Yeah, so it is amazing how Derrick Henry has been able to be so durable. So actually, I'm knocking on wood right now.
After a couple years.
Knocking on wood for him. So, all right. Miami, Tampa. Like I said in the notes from last episode, who cares? Tampa by a lot, and it was in fact Tampa by a lot. Afternoon games, we had Cleveland versus the Chargers, and boy, this was game of the year.
So far, yeah.
There was over 1,000 yards, and it was just insane. I think
Herbert could score at will.
Yeah. I think as of right now, Justin Herbert is currently MVP frontrunner, and there's not really many. It's between him and Kyler right now.
Yeah. Those young QBs right now that are tearing the league up.
Yeah, and who would have thought?
My opinion, top three, and I would go Herbert, Tyler, then Lamar.
In that order or any order?
In that order.
Yeah, I respect that because Lamar's also been really good this year, but like we'll talk about that at the end of the show.
Yeah.
New York versus Giants, or Giants versus Dallas, and boy, Trayvon Diggs. QBs need to stop testing this man.
No, keep testing him. I want to see him break a record.
I would love to see him break a record, but I think QBs need to realize, like, oh, Trayvon Diggs is for real. They need to treat him like, I don't even know how to put it, like, just don't throw to his side.
There's like a stigma out there that you play defense because you can't catch the ball consistently.
Yeah.
You need to remember, Trayvon Diggs was recruited
to be a wide receiver.
Alabama, play receiver.
Yeah, so.
I mean, he's going to catch the ball if you throw it in his area.
Yeah. So, like, QBs, please stop testing Trayvon Diggs if you want to win your game.
Keep going.
No, I agree. I want to see Trayvon Diggs, but if teams want to win, they need to stop testing Trayvon.
Trayvon's out here making up for what Stephon can't do.
Yeah. Last afternoon game, we had San Francisco versus Arizona, and coming off the half he had last week against Seattle, he looked pretty average this week against Arizona. Granted, it was a significantly better defense he was going up against, but still.
Oh, shoot. I forgot that Geno Smith played this week.
He played like the fourth quarter on Thursday.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's right, because they're the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Oh, my head's all messed up right now.
I was just saying Trey Lance last week against Seattle. In the second half, he looked really good. In the whole game against Arizona, he looked pretty average.
I just want to take a moment and figure where the did I find Geno Smith in that entirety?
Probably because I said Seattle.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Trey Lance looked very average this week against this significantly better defense that Arizona has.
Oh, absolutely. And Trey Lance will continue to struggle. I mean,
the NFC West is a tough division, so there will be growing pains. But yeah, I don't know what much you can expect when Arizona's been playing like the best team in the league. And looking at Arizona's upcoming schedule, who do you think is going to be the one to dethrone them?
Taking a peek right now.
They play the Browns this week. Texans, Packers. Wait, hold on, am I reading this right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Packers probably.
I wouldn't be surprised by the Packers.
Especially because it's in a primetime game, and Aaron Rodgers loves playing good in primetime games.
Yeah. So, we will see how Arizona fares in these coming weeks.
I like these good Thursday night football games.
It's a shame we're not getting one this week. I don't think, at least.
Bucks Eagles.
Yeah. Buffalo KC. And for all the Josh Allen haters out there, he is not a one-season wonder. He's been playing great outside of week 1. And the Bills look like the best team in the AFC. Maybe the league.
The Bills are the best team in the AFC.
Yeah. I'm going to confidently say they're the best team in the AFC right now.
I mean, they just dismantled the Chiefs.
Yeah. But what the hell is wrong with the Chiefs right now?
They play defense.
Outside of their defense, what is wrong? What's wrong? because they're not
That's
even
it.
able
I
to do
mean,
anything
they're
offensive.
allowing.
They're not even able to really to do anything offensively.
I mean, that's not entirely true.
No, but Patty didn't look
Just
great last night or on Sunday night. I think he had like 3 turnovers. So
I know, but I mean the numbers of the Chiefs' defense has given up has been
what I think
38,
they're allowing
30,
7.1 yards a
30,
play, and the most yards per
36,
play any offense has
33.
had. The most yards any offense has ever had in the I think it's history of the NFL was the greatest show on turf Rams, and that was 7 yards a play. So it's
Yeah,
this Chiefs defense is very historically bad.
they're allowing 32.6 points per game right now.
Yeah, they are bad. They're down bad. They are down horrendous. That defense is.
They've allowed 20 touchdowns.
Yeah, so I don't know what the Chiefs can do right now to be better defensively. I don't know. I don't even know if they have cap space to make any moves really. So it's gonna be
I'm
a
sure
long,
this
hard season
probably
for this
someone.
Chiefs team.
We know Patrick Mahomes ain't going anywhere.
Not for like 10 more years. So Monday Night Football, we had the Colts versus Baltimore Ravens, and boy, look, I think people need to realize Lamar has always been able to throw the ball very nicely.
Hasn't always. Coming out of college, he was not that great of a passer, but
No, but like
every year he's taken one more step forward, and this year he's looking lethal.
yeah, like he's better passing the ball than he was his MVP year. So
Absolutely, and it's gonna be scary once he can get 4 quarters put together. I mean, they really didn't turn up till the fourth quarter.
yeah, well they were how many points? They were down by like 18, maybe 21 at one
It was like
point.
20. I think it was like 25-6 or something like
Yeah,
that.
and they just rallied back with the help with Lamar and Mark Andrews and Hollywood. Like I don't know what the hell happened with that Colts team, but they just collapsed.
And credit to that defense for holding them in check for 3 quarters, but
Yeah, you could only do so
you gotta play.
much.
You gotta play 4 in the NFL.
Yeah, but Colts almost had defensive touchdown of the year too.
Yeah, but I don't understand how that was a forward pass.
The rule of forward pass is where you throw the ball and where it's caught.
Oh,
So technically, if we're both running forward, I throw it to you, but due to momentum, you catch it like in front of me. Like you could be behind me, but I toss it to you, and you like with momentum and stuff, and you catch it like a yard in front of me. That is technically considered a forward pass.
that rule's gotta change.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard to determine that stuff because it was in fact a lateral backwards pass, but due to technicalities of where it was thrown and where it was caught, it was deemed forward pass.
That makes more sense now, but they need to change that rule to where you can still be running and catch that ball because
Yeah.
I don't like that.
The only reason I know that is because I remember one year I'm gonna say it was a Seahawks versus Eagles primetime game. Something similar like that had happened where Russell Wilson he was rolling, he was running, and then he lateraled it to his running back that was kind of like behind him. It wasn't an option, but it was like a broken down play, and his running back was just kind of right there. And he threw the running back the pass, and he caught it like 1 yard ahead of Russell, even though he threw it behind him. So that's the only. And they were talking about it in the booth. It wasn't called a penalty or anything because refs suck at their job this year, and have always sucked at their job for years. So that's the only reason I know that why it was deemed forward pass.
Yeah, get that shit figured out.
Yeah, I mean the refs they need to figure a lot of stuff out this offseason.
Yeah, absolutely.
But on to Thursday Night Football. We, like you said, we have Bucks versus Eagles, and I'm curious on this spread. It is Bucks by 7. How are you feeling?
Hammer the Bucks, baby.
Yeah, I don't see any way that the Eagles keep it within 7. The Bucks are just playing really good right now, so
Absolutely.
Tom Brady's playing probably the best football he's ever played in his 20-something year career, and that's
Which is
insane,
crazy to
which is
think.
crazy because he's 59 or something, pushing like 80. So
Yeah.
just playing the greatest football he's ever played, better than his MVP years, at least on pace, play better than his on MVP years. And yeah, I think we both have Chiefs winning, or not Chiefs, Bucks winning. My bad. Uh, and you have you're hammering the Bucks on the spread.
Absolutely.
All right,
It'll be a 2 touchdown game, I believe.
all right. Now I pose to you
Well, I
this
believe it.
question: do you think it's going to be over 52.5?
Probably. I think the Bucks will hang 35 on them.
I feel like that, I always hate the bookies because they always get it right on the money. It's probably going to be like a 53 or something.
Yeah.
They're
It's going to be really close.
It's
But
gonna be really close to 52. I would not confidently bet on over or under on this game, but I would definitely hammer the Bucks on this.
yeah, hammer the Bucks.
All right. Well, anyway, that's it for the show, guys. Like usual, like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on the socials above here, down here. Cody's pointing at his, and we will see you all on Saturday with our next episode. Bye bye.
Yes, sir.